I think for Bruce and I, we have traveled the world, and one of our modes of travel is to always get to know the local people. We eat at local restaurants. We want to get involved in the town, but never have we gotten involved in a culture and a life like we have in this last week. It's just been amazing. The foods, no one's even mentioned the wines yet. It's almost like they're almost insignificant because everything else has been so grand. And meeting all of you and welcoming all of us into your homes, it's just been fabulous. So for us, even though we travel so much, it's just brought travel to a whole nother level for us. So thank you.
Okay, actually, I agree with what everybody said, and especially Jennifer, with how sincere and nice all of Eve's and Marilyn's friends are. I said, but the other thing that I see that nobody mentioned, and I know everybody's thinking it, is the commitment that Marilyn and yourself have to this trip. So it's not just putting something together, it's putting something together and not even about your heritage and about your friends, but by doing all of this, the meaning that it is for us. The detail that you both put into this trip is very admirable, that it's not just a trip that somebody paid for and came to, but you want to continue to evolve it to be better for the people that are experienced in wine and the people that aren't experienced in wine. And I think you will. I personally enjoyed going to all of the places that we visited. And I very much enjoyed meeting all of your friends and the sincerity that they had in opening their homes to us and their wineries to us, and the sincerity that they had. And the humor also was great, because it wasn't stuffy collar.
Yeah.
But to you and Marilyn, it's just, it's nice to know that this is more to you than a business. And and I know that even though Marilyn's not French, but she wishes she was French. Everything that she has, you see the spark in her eyes, and you see the spark in your eyes when you get to share your story with us.
Yeah.
And so I think
that's a very short one. You have shared your friends, you have shared personal moments, and the story that touched me the most was the story about your dad, and saving the vines. And that was very personal, and you didn't have to share that, but you did, because we feel like we're family here, and I'm just thankful for it. I'm sure everybody else.
Vino veritas. In wine there is truth. The truth of the culture that you have connected us to. The truth of what you have shared from everyone that you've shared it with, and from all of us together, finding our own truth in those experiences is amazing. It's not about the wine, as has been said. It's not about the places and the architecture. The buildings are amazing, stunning, but they're lived in. These are not something you walk by and look at and is all roped off. We're crawling through basements and ducking down to mud. And people live there and they live in them. They don't just hang out there. They don't just exist. It's not a house. It is their life that they have shared with us. That's the truth of this trip. That's the truth of this experience. It's connected all of us to a different country, a different families, and a different time. I'm deeply honored. Thank you, Eve.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Robert.
Yeah, very nice.
Thank you, Robert.
Very nice.
Very nice. Thank you.
Get up and do this. But those of you, don't know me real well, but I'm not the type of person to go home to all my neighbors and friends and tell them where I've been, what I've done. The last thing I want to do is come across as being braggadocious. And it's just private, it's personal what I do out of the office, off time. This is a trip that I've already been planning, and I told John I want to go home and tell everyone, all my neighbors, all my family. I even asked Marilyn and Eve if I could go on the internet on my Facebook page and send out. Yeah, I know. Like I said, I normally do not divulge personal, private information like this. But this is a trip that everyone should have the opportunity to go. This is not your normal vacation. And this is not like going to summer camp where you're with a bunch of people. This is unbelievable. This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I am so grateful to all my lucky stars that somehow through my many years managed to end up here during this week. And again, I thank you and Marilyn, and I thank my husband for having thought of me and said, I'm booking this trip.
My favorite part of this trip has been learning about the terroir. Because the terroir is about the plant, the environment, the soil, and the people. And I see it as an analogy for life. And the wine being a living thing, I think it's beautiful, and it's been quite the honor to be a part of this trip.
Is I've always seen how much Marilyn really adores Eve and respects him in a deep and a beautiful way. And I've gotten to know and love Eve in that way, and seeing his friendships and the integrity and the stature of the people that esteem him has been really fun. And Eve, we salute you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I realize that since this is our last day, I have to say something, so now's an opportunity. A couple of things. First of all, going on, I haven't been on a wine trip before, but I've been on other planned vacations, maybe that's a way to say it, a tour. And you show up, we'll apply to this. Perhaps you would show up and you would walk through a vineyard, or someone would talk to you and you would taste some wine. And I wasn't really sure what to expect because I hadn't been on a wine tour before. So had we done that, probably not knowing what was possible, I would have been semi-satisfied. And I can tell you that showing up here, as people mentioned, the wine has been phenomenal, but at the same time, the whole experience, there is no possibility with any other trip that we would have ended up in the castles, in the homes we've been in, and met the families that we've met. It's almost as if Eve and Marilyn just took us along while they were going on vacation to visit their friends.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, that's exactly right. No,
Right.
she's right.
They smuggled us in our luggage.
Right. We've been smuggled in the luggage. They said, we're going to visit friends and family. Would you all like to come with us? And honestly, and that's, I think in the truest sense, that's what's happened. And I had no idea that we would, you said, oh, you go to places other people don't get to go, but it's been like, we went everywhere, families, etc. So it has been absolutely,
Yes.
I can't even imagine there's anything that even comes close to comparing.
Yeah. No.
You're not going to get this anywhere else. So thank you all. Oh, and let me also mention, final note, that I now have numerous new, very close friends that I, again, wouldn't have bonded with had we just been on a tour bus somewhere. So it's been.
Let me piggyback on what Jennifer just said. I want to raise our glasses, and I want to toast Eve and Marilyn for ruining us for life.
Yes.
No more cheap wine.